Hello. 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 Every Rush song.
Hello, Rush fans. Welcome to Every Rush Song, the
Every Rush song.
podcast where
Every
we
Rush song.
Every Rush Song.
I
love the
the
crowd. So we've recorded a few episodes, and I thought I would spring a topic on Jay and Tim. They have no idea. They've had no time to prepare, and they're going to hate me for this, especially Tim. Gentlemen, I want to just go around the circles, one way or another. 2 or 3 or 4, whatever, however long it takes, maybe not too long. I want to talk about our least favorite Rush albums.
Well, when you rank them as Moving Pictures number 1 and everything else number 2, and typically number 2 isn't in that least kind of category, it's going to
Not first or
be
last, Ricky Bobby. So what you're saying, Tim, is that everything except for Moving Pictures is your least favorite Rush album.
Can you?
Jay?
No, that's what I said.
If you had to pick
Tim was
one
good.
album that you thought maybe not have been one of their better albums, not that it was the least favorite, because I know that's hard for you to say.
Come on, Tim. You can do it.
But if you had to pick one that you were like, you know what, that's a great, I love that album, but it may not be their best work.
Open up your heart, Tim. If you go and you pick out the albums or the CDs, what's the one you pick last? Which one is like, yeah, I like you, but next week? Which one, Tim?
What's the album that you just want to be friends with? I just want to be friends.
How about you, Jay? Jay, you'll be honest with us.
Me?
Yeah, what's an album? What's your least favorite today? We're gonna change your mind.
Well, I have no doubt that my mind will be changed. But as of right now, today,
right now at this time on, I don't know when my calendar is, day, October.
Currently, it's the first album, the Rush album.
Okay.
Currently,
I understand that. I understand. Currently.
That's only because I wasn't sure if I could say Feedback as the.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Okay, then Feedback.
What? And I think you just, because it's different than Neb Neo, right? That's just good.
I'm going to have to disagree with that in the fact that since it is a cover album, it's Rush, but it's not Rush writing those songs.
Okay, so we can exclude it as far as favorite Rush albums. Okay, well then I go back to my original saying the first Rush album.
First Rush.
Wrong.
Oh yeah, incorrect answer.
I'm sorry. Are you saying my opinion wrong?
I think that's what Tim just said.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
I had no idea, and I thank you for correcting that.
I hope I can inspire Tim to find an album that he doesn't like, or at least that he likes somewhat least on certain days of the week. Maybe not every day. Maybe just Thursdays. There's a hard day at work in the dark.
There's got to be one, Tim, that it's not your favorite.
It's just something. It's like, which one are you going to pick last? If we're going on a road trip, you can only bring 10 CDs. What are you not bringing?
Oh, well, for crying out loud, that's so stupid.
Thank you for.
Well, it is.
Well, nobody has CDs anymore, for one.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Cassettes.
And it's very rare.
11 CDs.
That I'll go to my Rush playlist and just listen to an album.
Really?
Now, the one that when I do that, there's 2 of them that I'll do. And that's Moving Pictures and Signals.
That you listen to the entire album.
I will just I will take it off the shuffle and just go through the album.
So everything else you listen to either in playlists or random shuffle.
Yeah, I've got every Rush song.
Ooh, that's a good title.
Yes, it is. Somebody ought to use that.
They should.
And then I usually just hit shuffle and
Well, it's funny you should say that, Tim, because I'm kind of the same way until I started the research that we did for the Beer Thursday round where we discussed all the Rush songs. So I went and listened to every single Rush album. But as a normal thing, when I listen to Rush, if I'm going to listen to a whole album, my go-tos are Moving Windows, and Power Pictures.
Ooh, Power Pictures. Power Pictures, girls.
Power
Now,
Windows and Moving Pictures.
do you all do
are
that
my
with all
favorites.
music, all other bands? Do you listen to everything on shuffle and don't listen by albums?
pretty much.
Oh,
It
interesting.
depends. Yeah. It depends on my mood. I mean, 'cause like for example, the other day, I really wanted to sit down and listen to Clockwork Angels, so I listened to that again. And or I tried to listen to Vapor Trail. It was just so hard to listen to. Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's your second favorite album.
Wow. Oh,
That's interesting. Because I always listen. I will queue up and listen no matter what it is, unless it's just some group or only like a few other songs, but someone like Rush or The Doors or Led Zeppelin, where like a lot of their songs or Pink Floyd, I listen to the whole album, like first song to last song.
Well, it's for me, it's the familiarity. Like if I'm really familiar with like somebody like Billy Joel, there's a couple of his albums that are my go-tos. Otherwise, I just like to mix them all up. And I'm kind of same
Okay.
with Rush. I like to listen to the albums, and more so with Rush because now I'm trying to go back and listen to for research for this show and also just
Science.
for scientific
Sorry.
purposes. Yes, for scientific purposes.
I didn't know that they had developed that.
You should
Yeah.
definitely stick with that routine.
Yes. Yes. That deserves a high five.
Zoom 5. In fact, should we make that something that we do never
No.
again?
Exactly.
Yes.
In fact,
Wait,
I will
wait.
do that.
Here's the answer to that. Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. Oh man, I ruined it.
Hell no.
In fact, I'll do, in fact, Farewell to Kings. I always listen to A Farewell to Kings all the way through and then Hemispheres all the way through. I don't just listen to the album the whole way through, both albums, because you
Yeah.
got to have the Cygnus X1 and Hemispheres together. Not that I'm right. I just like because growing up, listening to albums, listening to cassettes, I got used to hearing certain songs after another. And it's very jarring to me if they're out of order.
Ooh,
And
see,
sometimes, and I think with a band like Rush, they put a lot of time into planning out the order, and it probably has a flow and makes some sense. Not that you should change what you're doing. I was
right,
surprised to hear that about you, Jay.
but if you do it that way,
Yeah.
then so you're listening to all the moving pictures
The whole
and
thing,
you
which is-
start the Fear trilogy with part 3.
Yeah.
You move to Signals, you start with part 2 of Fear, the weapon, and Grace Under Pressure, part 1 of Fear, the enemy within. You're going backwards.
Now, that is not to say that I don't occasionally queue up the songs of the Fear trilogy in order and listen to that. I do that also. And sometimes I will
I've
listen
never
to
done that.
only Cygnus X1 and then Hemispheres. So I don't always. And then I do this other crazy thing where I'll listen to all of first song from each album and then the second song from each album and then so on and so on. And they tell two friends.
Have you
They tell two friends.
have you ever
So
have
on.
you have you ever taken 2112 and then started the movie Wizard of Oz and just watched the movie and listened to 2112?
Jay,
I think
Jay,
that's the wall.
you started talking fast right there. Did you just snort?
Did I? Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
A little bit.
okay,
Just,
all right.
just
Just wanna
not a
make
lot,
sure.
just a little bit.
Was it a honks?
guys,
Something like
hey
that.
guys, hey, have you ever listened to 2112 and watched The Wizard of Oz and see the devil?
I'm seeing him right now.
Yeah. Sometimes we watch every Rush song on YouTube
See,
and we see the devil.
and
In fact, his
I've
birthday is the same as Voldemort's.
got
Sorry, I didn't mean to say his name.
and I've put together this playlist. Okay,
Mm.
so I've got every studio album Rush song. Okay,
Every
and
studio album
Rush
song.
song.
Okay.
But I've also got what I like to call Rush Live.
Okay.
So, but I've got it in because I'm weird and I guess I don't have enough to do with my life.
Of course you don't.
So I do this, but, and especially when they released for the 40th anniversary of Moving Pictures, the YYZ concert. So I've got a playlist that I'm taking the songs from All the World's a Stage and then the live. Well, they did this for Farewell to Kings and Hemispheres, recordings from those tours, plus the YYZ concert, and I've made my own little ultimate, you know, up to Moving Pictures, but going back far enough because, you know, let's face it, All the World's a Stage recording, which is a great live album, it still doesn't have, you know, the same kind of audience sound
Sure.
as, but then I've taken from starting from the Grace Under Pressure tour that you can get
Mhm.
the audio from and all the way up through R40 tour. And I've got my Rush concert there. And so I've made my
Nice.
ultimate Rush concert,
I like it.
Ooh.
which is a
And
little
you're, and,
crazy.
you know, and you're right. And you're right.
That's-
You obviously don't have much going on.
But see,
Wow,
but
you
see,
are a
but-
sad,
but-
strange little man.
but sometimes I will forget that I've still got it on shuffle. And so I'll go and I want to listen to that concert that I'm. And so the
Yeah.
intro is, you know, their great intro from A Show of Hands with the Three Stooges theme.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I've got it on
Steal that.
shuffle. And so you'll hear dun, 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 dun. And then the song will change and go into Closer to the Heart. And that's just not a great opening number, you know?
No, it just
You know?
doesn't work. Yeah.
And then it goes to one of Neil's drum solos that I've got on there, you know, from Closer to the Heart. I'm like, boy, that would be a badass concert, though.
That's funny.
That's one of those situations you can't shuffle it. When you
But- but-
together the perfect playlist, you don't want to
But it's hard for me. Look,
use the live stuff.
there's from every single one of their albums, there's at the minimum 3 songs that I absolutely love. So for me to say,
Right.
you know,
Well-
my least favorite, it's really hard for me to come up with that.
Yeah.
But, and I'm about to upset
Here
or
comes-
look, I'd like to apologize to all my fans out there.
It's all right. Hammer.
Everybody.
It would probably be Caress of Steel.
You heard it here, folks.
Yes,
Too
I
late.
know.
Tim does not like Caress of Steel.
I did not.
He
It's
doesn't mean
He hates it.
He
He
doesn't
said,
mean-
and I quote, "It's the worst album I've ever heard in my life."
okay. This is a recorded podcast. And unless you edit out what I said,
Oh, I can do
I
that.
never said those words.
I can do that. Listen for it at the end.
But
What do you
it-
not like about it?
it's not that.
Is it
You
I
know
think
what?
I'm going bald? Is that
I
what it is?
think
No,
After
I love
we-
that song. It's pretty much the exact same guitar riff as In the Mood.
I think I'm going to change your mind about Caress of Steel when we analyze it.
I love Caress of
Oh,
Steel, though.
you were
That's
gonna-
the issue.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you hate that album.
That is shocking. I want to end the show. I
This
don't
is a
mean just
shock.
this
This is-
episode.
I mean,
I mean, I'm going to sell the domain.
yeah.
All right.
I just
All right, folks. Thank
All
you
right.
very kindly.
no. We haven't heard Shane's. Have we heard Shane's?
Oh, no, I like them all.
No, you gotta. We made Tim do, and to Tim's credit, he
did.
picked as
He
hard
got
as it
good.
was for him to do.
You came
He's
good.
like me,
Yeah.
like trying to pick a Billy Joel song album that I don't
Ooh.
like. I have one that's my least favorite, but it doesn't mean I still don't love the album. And that's all we're saying here.
Yeah.
If Tim is still
Really
with,
faded.
it's so dark up there, I can't tell.
I mean, look, if
Tim's glasses are glowing.
if Rush had recorded an album where
Yeah.
the fastest song on it was Rivendell, that would be it. Then it would be that album.
Mhm.
You know, that's a song you don't listen to while you're driving.
You know
Yeah.
what? One night I queued that song up on repeat and to see if I could go to sleep to it. I did.
Congratulations. That was a great story. Tell
You're
us
welcome.
about it.
Just,
You're welcome.
just
True story.
Science.
True story.
All right,
True
ladies and
story, high
gentlemen, we're
five.
coming up on the time in our episode where Shane is going to tell us his least favorite Rush album. Take it away, Shane.
Test for Echo.
You are an idiot. Wow.
Jay,
How?
what did it rank on yours, Jay, when you did your ranking? Do you remember where Test for Echo was?
I think it was pretty low.
All right, so there's a lot of stuff I like on Test for Echo, but to me, it holds up least well. There's some songs on there that probably worked at the time, but like everything else, just about everything else Neil has written has been timeless. But there's some things on there that just kind of are stuck in that era when they were written. And then there's some like Dog Years where sometimes I listen to it and I go, that's a really clever song. And then sometimes I'll listen to it and I think, this is kind of dumb. They've done.
Oh, really? Okay.
But what about like? Yeah.
How about Half the World? How
The
about
World,
Driven?
I love Half the
Okay,
World.
Driven is one of the gems on it. Half the World.
Also like Test for Echo.
Just kind of like whining. Yeah, all right. You know what? Some people have it better than others. Just get over it. Like
But it's the absolute truth. What he is speaking is the truth.
yeah. You know what?
That's the way it always is.
Hey,
When
Stuart,
really
you're
is there
wrong.
a majority? There isn't. Half the world loves this, but the other half hates it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Except for hockey.
No, and really, I do like
Everybody loves hockey.
I like hockey.
I like hockey.
We like hockey.
I love hockey.
But
I love Lamb.
Echo. I like the song Test for Echo, but lyrically, I'm just like, wish I hadn't said that, Neil.
It's similar to me with Presto. I like
Time
the
in
song
Motion.
I like Show Don't Tell, but I don't really, the rest of it.
Really, Chain Lightning, War Paint, Superconductor, Available Light.
That's nice.
Exactly.
You know what? I'm gonna go back and listen to that
The
again.
past. You need to go and listen to the past, you dumb son of a bitch.
Christ, what have you done?
Wow.
Oh,
It's happening.
I will
Why
say,
are we turning on each other?
see, that's what this.
Why are we
that's what this
turning on
episode
each
is
other?
done. You can't ask Rush fans your least favorite Rush album without there being some fighting.
well,
because
and then they always say Caress of Steel. So
Well, then you also that goes to, also you can't ask someone their favorite Rush album without there being some fighting. Like that's your favorite?
I'll fight
Really?
you. Fly By Night album cover in the top left.
see, I'm going to disagree with that because I think it's a half the world. No, it's not a half the world situation. Jay, you could tell me that Grace Under Pressure is your favorite album, and I'm not going to be upset with you about it. I'm just going to say, okay, I get that. That's okay.
So that's your other album that you like least, Grace Under Pressure. Is that what you're saying? Because I agree with you. That's probably down there in one of my least favorites too, Tim.
Oh, poor Tim.
Yeah.
Bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Yes.
Ooh, But speaking of Test for Echo, the acoustic versions of Resist
Is
that are on some of the live albums, I
yes,
love that. I love
it's
that. Yeah,
it's in fact, I
I
believe
love that
I've
song.
used a line from that song
I believe
as a
that.
toast on another
Mhm.
podcast.
Really? You've been on another
You can
podcast?
surrender without a prayer,
Mhm.
but never really pray. Pray without surrender. You can
Preach.
fight without ever winning, but never really win. Win without a fight.
I'll drink to that.
Are we back
That's
to
that's a
back-
great
we're back to
time and
Jaws?
motion.
I heard Jaws. Was there a shark coming there towards the end of
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Time in Motion is a great song. Da, da, da,
Okay.
da, da, da,
Okay.
da, 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 da. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. That's the keyboard part.
Right, so
see.
okay, we've got Caress of Steel and Grace Under Pressure from Tim. What is the second?
I did
one
not
best?
say Grace Under Pressure.
That's the way I understood it, and I agreed with you. Not that great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. So I think we've established that we should probably not broach this subject.
I
again.
know. I didn't go quite as well as I thought. But
But
maybe
it's a damn good thing that we are in separate areas, because I would have shot both y'all in the face with the
Oh.
bazooka.
you have a bazooka?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Cool.
just got licensed to carry it.
I don't
Licensed
know about
to
you. I don't know about you ladies, but I would love to know what our viewers and listeners
Yeah.
have to say.
Do
What
you
do you have a least favorite rush?
I'm not so sure I want to know that information,
I
because I
think-
don't want to start hating them from the get-go.
You know what? We gotta value other people's opinion. That's the problem with the world that we live in today.
No, we
No.
don't. Everybody should agree with me.
Well,
Oh, so you also agree that Snakes and Arrows is the third worst Rush album?
wow, Tim, you're just throwing out some hot sports opinions.
I'm
my
shocked
goodness.
that we drug that out of Tim.
Well, you know, somebody. This is interesting. So Rush.
Attention, all listeners of the Every Rush Song podcast. Attention, listeners of the Every Rush Song podcast. I have assumed control.
Ooh.
I have assumed control. I have assumed control. Thank you very kindly.